Well, welcome to the Monday Money Tip Podcast presented by Fully Funded Life. My name is Joe Sengel. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, the new North Carolina resident, Megan Hibbard. Are you fired up today?
Fired up.
So you've moved.
I've moved, but I'm back in South Carolina.
Yep, you ventured back down I-85, which is a challenge. I'm glad you did it safely. And we're going to talk about money today. Is that the topic?
Lots of money.
People
yes.
know us as talking about money. And so episode number what?
322.
322 episodes.
Yes.
This is awesome. The wildly popular podcast, Monday Money Tip Podcast. Number one in our hearts. Tell everybody what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
I'm sure it's a very motivating topic for many.
It is. It's motivating for me. But today we're talking about how to combat rising food costs. Maybe you felt it at the grocery store. Maybe
no, not maybe.
You felt it at the grocery store.
Yes.
You felt it eating out.
Yes.
You felt it in every area of your life. But we're focusing on food today.
Yes. I don't know if you go to the grocery store and feel like you got robbed. It's unreal. I think it has become the object lesson for any parent or any human being on the effects and the negative impact of inflation.
Yeah. I just don't know how do we keep going? You know what I'm saying? It's just,
well,
we're going to talk about it.
We're seeing some challenges with that. So, food costs have continued to rise. We're going to talk about it and then maybe give some tips on how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe you can share some examples that we've seen recently.
Yeah. So you go to the grocery store, you buy two things and you're spending $50. Like, what is that? Or
Is there an item that stands out in your brain that has what in the world the price has just went off the rails?
I mean, eggs have gone up significantly, which I'm like, I don't understand that. The chicken is laying the egg. It's not like, I mean, maybe you have to feed, it's costing you more to feed the chicken.
Well,
maybe that's it.
That is the truth. And here's the big deal. It all boils back down to the inputs. Yeah. And the common input for all food production is energy cost. And so if fuel costs are up, the cost of grain production goes up, which is used to feed the chicken, to produce the egg, and to deliver that egg, to get it all the way to the marketplace. That point of purchase is a big deal. I can tell you for me, there's a secret family recipe in my wife's family on the Grandma Gertrude's chip dip. And it uses cream cheese. I'm going to reveal an ingredient. And I might be hunted down for this from the Southsiders in Chicago, but it uses cream cheese. And I remember distinctly being able to buy a brick of that for 75 cents, the off-brand. Of course, that is a violation of law in my wife's family. It must be Philadelphia cream cheese. Do you agree with that?
I know.
No, I'm telling you right now, they're not ambivalent like you are. This is a crime against them personally.
I shop
personally
at Aldi,
offensive.
so.
And it used to be that's right, the Aldi. Well, it's $3 a brick now.
Yeah.
And they tell me that there's been 8% inflation. And I'm like, 8% on $1 is 8 cents. It went up $2 extra. That's 300%. And it's just been crazy. And we got this statement from Yahoo Finance. And I'll tell you, Yahoo kind of collapsed. Google took their lunch money. But their Yahoo Finance page is really good. Mm-hmm. I look at it almost daily.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that we have two kind of stats to get some different angles on it. But this article specifically says during the last federal election on November 3rd, 2020, food inflation was running at just 3.9% annually. So fast forward to March 2024, and the latest data shows food prices have risen a whopping 25.8% since then. To put that in perspective, a basket of groceries that cost $100 in November of 2020 would now set you back $125.80. So, or $125.80 sounds better. But I almost feel like it's worse than that.
I'm not sure what they're buying.
It's
I must be buying the wrong things.
Now.
Yeah, that's right. So look, these economists, they get their numbers, and we can all agree it's up.
Yeah.
And the USDA shared some other stuff.
Yeah, so they talk about food prices are predicted in 2024. Food prices are predicted to increase 2.2%, and the food at home prices predicted to increase 1% in the food away from home, so eating out. expected to increase 4.3%. And in 2025, so brace yourself, food prices are expected to increase more slowly, but they're still going to increase. So expected to increase 2%. And then, the food at home prices increase 0.7%, and food away from home predicted to increase 3%. So it's like everywhere you feel this. So you're buying groceries, you're going out, whether you're, I don't know, going to the gas station and buying like some snacks there, like everywhere you're feeling it. So
and the problem with aging is you remember when. And I'm 50 and I remember when. And I'm now become that person. I remember when. You remember a couple episodes ago we were doing the old person.
The grandma voice.
It's great. But I do remember when. But the problem is it was only 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And so listen, you guys all out there in internet lands, you can figure out who you want to blame for that. But, we had a massive disruption to the whole world called COVID. And I think food prices and food providers had very, very compressed margins. Yeah. And they took an opportunity to say prices are going up. The supply chain is messed up. We're having to pay more, but we're going to increase more than that because we believe prices are going to go up even more. Mm-hmm. And then everybody in the producer side cranked rates.
Yeah.
And we see it at McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's is out of control, and I like McDonald's, but McDonald's, you got to get it together. I mean, your prices are out of control. And I think we hit a limit a couple months ago when somebody posted that there was a Big Mac meal on a Connecticut toll road that was $18 for the meal.
Oh, my.
And I think everybody said, that's it. And so, costs are going to continue to increase. We here at the Monday Money Tip podcast, no matter how powerful you think we are over here in this wildly popular podcast, we can't personally affect inflation. But what we can do is help you navigate it. And so let's give them some tips. Let's help all of our listeners prosper even in the face of inflation. You want to give them some tips?
Yep. So we're going to give you some tips first at the grocery store and then at eating out. So first, grocery store, some tips. We've talked about these, before, so maybe we'll hit these kind of quick. And then
we're going to tell our producer right now, Mr. Jeff over here, let's just put them all up at once so people can screenshot it, and let's just rattle them off.
Yep.
You want to rattle them off?
All right. So the first one is a shopping list. Make sure you're taking advantage of sales. Shop in your pantry and freezer.
Hey, I want to stop there. You can shop in your pantry and freezer and probably find a month's worth of food. And you get the added benefit of cleaning out your pantry, and you will have some strange, unique meals that interrupts your normal rhythm, which variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
Okay?
Also, make sure you don't shop while you're hungry. Leave the spender at home.
That means I can't go.
And the kids. Leave the spender and the kids at home.
There we go.
If possible. Make sure you use some coupons and take your cash envelopes.
Yes. So cash envelopes are a huge way to stick to your plan. Do not be prideful and say, I'm just going to guess at how much I have in the cart. Pull out the calculator on your phone and add it up as you go so that you know. And listen, there is great reward for knowing your numbers, even at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Okay, so screenshot those tips. And now let's talk about how to save money eating out. Now, before we talk about that, I want to talk about some things we've been seeing. I've seen some commercials. I can't remember. I think it was Applebee's saying, have you seen the prices at fast food restaurants? They're practically telling you to come eat at Applebee's.
I think it was Applebee's.
Was it Applebee's?
I think so.
That's a fact. I mean, if it's an $18 Big Mac, I know I can go to Applebee's. I can get a wonderful sit-down meal and somebody bringing me extra Coca-Colas, and I can get out of there for $18 and I can tip somebody.
Yeah. Or you can go to Chili's. They have a very wide
Chili's.
Or
baby back ribs.
Who doesn't love
barbecue
Cracker Barrel?
sauce.
I love Cracker Barrel. I just think
Cracker Barrel's amazing too.
Yeah, there's just so many places, and I feel like I can either spend. I mean, we're a family of 5.
All boys.
Yes.
Right? You have 4 boys that you're feeding. Growing boys.
Yeah, I was like 4. I only have 3.
Yeah, there's
but
4.
Jordan.
Jordan is a boy.
And then there's Barkley is.
He's a very tall human being who I'm sure loves. Let's see, I'm going to guess. Does he get the old country breakfast?
At Cracker Barrel?
Yeah. Or does he get grandma's breakfast or grandpa's breakfast?
I don't know. He switches it up sometimes.
Or does he sometimes order like a does he always get breakfast even if it's in the evening? No, neither do I. If I get anything other than breakfast, I get the spring rainbow trout, the spring creek spring rainbow trout. It's absolutely delicious. It's grilled. Bing! And then I go off the rails with my side item of dumplings and turnip greens.
The dumplings are good.
With chow chow relish. But let's talk about saving money on dining out at restaurants.
Yeah. So, I mean, an easy way is you order water. That can save you money. You know, if you each are spending money on a drink,
you're on to something. I mean, a soda at a restaurant's $2.49 or more. That's what it is.
And then each person, you know, Jordan and I, we pretty much always drink water. There's the exception for him. But when we go out.
Yep.
At home, our thing is sparkling water. That's what we like. So that's like our treat is sparkling water that we have. But we usually order water, and then sometimes we get a drink for Logan. But we try. So save you a lot of money.
And another one is share a meal.
Yes.
I mean, Jenny and I have done this a ton, and we kind of rediscovered this during COVID. Mm-hmm. Our favorite restaurant in town, Sullivan's, did a thing where you could order to go. I mean, it was a sit-down white tablecloth restaurant, but we ended up doing car dates, and we would get this New York strip meal delivered to the car. Yeah. And they would give you all the stuff, but we would bring our silverware with us because I didn't want to use plastic stuff. I'd like keep all that stuff. And we would share that whole meal. It was awesome. Yeah. And you ate a reasonable amount. It's great for your health. And it's kind of fun sharing a meal.
Yeah, we do that a lot too. Because, I mean, most restaurants give you way more than you need to eat. I always have it to go.
Yeah. There's people mad about the split plate charge of $2 or whatever. I don't care about $2. I'll give them $2 because I'm not paying for another entree.
You're not giving them 20 for the other.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. So another thing you can do is use the app for rewards. So most places have an app where you can get points to earn free food, or you get treats like Sullivan's, for example. They do the birthday coupon, so you get a free dessert. You know, like just little things like that.
A great little area, if you ever come to Anderson, South Carolina, is Corner Bagel. Mm-hmm. And Corner Bagel even has, I think it's like get 6 coffees and the 7th one's free. Yeah. Use the reward system. Mm-hmm. If you of course, have it in your budget. Also use cash envelopes at the restaurant. It's a great way to save money. Here's what we would just encourage you with is do your research ahead of time and put it in the budget, the amount of money, and go enjoy life. But don't let it derail you financially. And you can still have a lot of fun. You can still go a lot of places and save a lot of money. Yeah. And so we really encourage you to take these tips, screenshot them, go save money at the grocery store, save money at the dining out, and pipe up. Talk to your local restaurants. Talk to your local legislators about, your feelings about the current prices. And if they actually decrease prices a little bit, like McDonald's has a $5 meal, say, I'm so glad you have a $5 meal. And let them know. They hear the consumer, and the consumer is a very powerful thing. It changes behavior. It's supply and demand. Yeah. The consumer is the demand. And if that demand goes away, which we've seen, well, then prices will retract. Yeah. So here's hoping that happens. I'm not banking on it. Therefore, I'm budgeting for it. Any last thoughts you'd like to share? I
mean, I think ultimately, from what we read in that statistic, prices aren't going to just drastically drop across the country, unless something happens, So we have to kind of find ways to make it work for our budget. You have this much money. Okay, well, if you can only afford to eat out one day a week, then you eat out one day a week. Make meals at home fun. Try to come up with some new ideas. Go on Pinterest. Come up with some fun, different things. They have
recipes.com.
Literally millions of
unbelievable
of recipes that you can make something different with the same ingredients. You can make something different, and make it fun for your family, and they don't feel like they're missing out because they're getting all these fun extra meals at home.
Yeah. My last thought is I want to take it to you guys, the listeners. We would love for you to share your favorite ways that you've saved money at the grocery store, at the restaurant. How have you been able to do the hack? How have you been able to still enjoy purchasing food at the restaurant, purchasing food in the grocery store, your favorites, but yet keep it within your budget? Drop a comment, share that. We'll all benefit from that. And thanks for watching the Monday Money Tip Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. There's a lot more content on our website. We got a few of them linked right here, and we got a subscription link as well. We would be so honored if you would click that like and subscribe button and go learn some additional stuff so that you can live your fully funded life.